Tonight, young people in Ontario prompt a new spike in COVID cases.
The data over the last few days is concerning.
What health officials warn young people are doing that's contributing to the viral spread.
So we're pleased to see that this government is taking this step forward.
Accelerating access. The Ontario government promises 2 long-term care homes to be built in a matter of months. We'll explain why critics say they're the wrong type to avoid future outbreaks. And the surprise donation after a gifted group of students wow a rock star and a king of the courts. Good evening, I'm Chris Glover. More than half of the new coronavirus cases reported today in Ontario were people under the age of 40. Health officials say many of these new cases are linked to one specific higher risk activity. Lorenda Redekop walks us through the new warning.
These friends are visiting Toronto from Quebec. One of them describes herself as the mother of the group.
Oh, guys, put your mask, wash your hands.
But she says it's hard to follow the rules.
It's a pleasure to see my friends, and it's just hard to respect the 2 meters law because I want to hug, you know.
Here's a look at the ages of people affected. People in their 20s and 30s make up the largest number of new cases. 116 are under 40. Health officials blame part of the spike on parties.
I just ask people, just hold off on these parties. I don't know why everyone wants to party so badly, but enough. We have to keep this in control.
The biggest jumps are from 4 different health regions. 3 are the areas not yet moving to stage 3. In Peel, 35 of those cases are older due to a reporting error. There are 30 in Toronto and 24 in Windsor-Essex. The other area most affected is Ottawa.
The data over the last few days is concerning. All of these cases are linked to activities that occurred during stage 2, meaning we are not yet seeing the impact of stage 3 reopenings on new cases.
This infectious disease expert says the people being infected are getting younger and younger. And he says there are some positives.
We don't have a lot of ICU admissions. We don't have a lot of hospital admissions. We do have capacity. It's summer. This virus seems to hate the great outdoors. It loves it indoors. So what a great opportunity for people to do things outdoors.
These friends say outside is where they have their get-togethers.
It's not easy. I recognize that, but it is so important. And it's summer and nobody wants to. I get that.
But I think the thing that even we don't understand is that you cannot go out and enjoy summer and still be responsible and follow the rules.
As you saw.
Today, Mississauga's mayor said overall, cases are still going in the right direction and urged the premier to move Peel and Toronto to stage 3 next week. Lorenda Redekop, CBC News, Toronto.
So today was the first time since late June the province reported more than 200 newly daily cases of the virus. But we found out later in the day 35 of those are due to a backlog in reporting from Peel Region. Still, today's case count is up from yesterday, and a return to an upward trend in COVID-positive tests isn't just happening in Ontario. BC reported more than 100 new cases over the weekend. Their health officials now say there's a chance for explosive growth. In Alberta, there were 368 new cases over the weekend, the highest daily increases in active COVID-19 cases since April. And over in Quebec, they reported 180 new cases today, the most there since mid-June. COVID-19 caused a political shakeup today at Queen's Park. Doug Ford has kicked out an MPP of his caucus for voting against a government bill. It extends orders made under the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act. In a statement to CBC, the Premier's office confirms Cambridge MPP Belinda Karahalios is no longer a part of the PC Party caucus. It continues, our government's first priority is the health and safety of all Ontarians, and Bill 195 is an important piece of legislation that protects each and every citizen during the pandemic. Now, CBC spoke with Karahalios tonight. She voted against Bill 195 because she says it limited future votes, was an unnecessary overreach, and went against the wishes of her constituents.
It was the fact that decisions could be made that affected everyone in the province by the Premier or his designate without a vote in the legislature. When you tell me I'm not able to vote on something, you've taken away the voices of all of those individuals who voted. And that's not democracy.
Karahalios will sit as an independent member of the legislature for now. The epicenter of this public health emergency is long-term care homes, and today Doug Ford pledged his government would build 2 new ones in Mississauga. Instead of it taking years, the Premier says he can speed it up and do it in months. Even though seniors advocates applaud the move, critics say the buildings aren't the right type to avoid future outbreaks. Natalie Nanowski now with those details.
With a bulldozer and excavator parked in the field, the government was sending a clear message. We're ready to start construction.
I'm excited to announce a historic new accelerated build pilot project for long-term care homes.
The partnership with Trillium Health would see 2 homes go up in Mississauga, totaling 640 new beds.
That's 640 more seniors with the best access to care, with modern design standards, including air conditioning and the latest infection control protocols built into the design.
The homes are supposed to be ready for next year, not your typical 4 or 5 year wait time. So how does the province intend to do it when projects like these have been put on the back burner for years?
Modular design and construction, rapid procurement, shorter construction timelines, and use of hospital lands. We are targeting completion in 2021.
So we're pleased to see that this government is taking this step forward, but will they transform the system, or is this just one shovel-ready project?
The opposition thinks it's the latter.
A couple of hundred homes in Mississauga is going to not even touch the literally over 37,000 people that are currently on the wait list. And again, we haven't had that commitment from the government to abandon the for-profit model of long-term care delivery.
Those giant homes are one of the reasons why Ontario had such a massive outbreak of COVID-19 in long-term care centres. Advocates say if the province really wants to change, it should build small campuses with 10 to 20 people to a building.
People overwhelmingly want to have their own home with their own ensuite bathroom. We saw that in this pandemic, infection control has been almost impossible in large homes.
The province says it's investing $1.7 billion into long-term care homes over the next 5 years.
I have a healthy skepticism, having watched the Liberals announce and not build beds. Now we have the Conservatives announcing. Let's hope they build.
No date yet for when the shovels will break ground. Natalie Nanowski, CBC News, Toronto.
Now to masks on the tracks. GO Transit and Up Express trains now officially require face covers to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Transit staff will be aboard trains, buses, and in stations informing customers about the need to wear masks. Union Station will also have spots to check your temperature and a place to check how clean your belongings are. Metrolinx has already been rolling out dividers between seats and points out 90% of riders are already wearing masks.
I cried the whole night. And it's just how? And I don't know that things will happen like that. I don't know. They have no right whatsoever to kill him.
Now to a CBC News exclusive. And after 8 months of silence, the family of Clive Mensah is finally speaking out about his death. The young black man was tasered to death by police in his backyard last fall. For months, his family has watched the stories of George Floyd and so many others, quietly waiting for answers about their own tragedy. Now they say they're done waiting, and they're breaking their silence in this exclusive interview with our Shanifa Nasser.
Yeah, this is Clive again.
30-year-old Clive Mensah used to share messages online about life and faith.
The truth is, if any change can be happening in this earth, it's up to us.
We want justice to prevail.
Now it's his family with a message, forced to pick up the pieces after he was killed.
Now that I'm here again, I feel very, very sad that he's gone.
Clive was a very cool and
kind guy, gentle guy.
Mensah died in November after being tasered by police in his backyard. They had been called just after 3 a.m. for reports of a suspicious male. Ontario's police watchdog says there was a struggle. His family wants officers held accountable.
You are to serve and to protect, not to serve and to kill.
After George Floyd was killed by a Minneapolis police officer, Mensah's family has been reliving their own nightmare.
Clive, memory came back, and I said I was experiencing it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
Now they're pushing for systemic change within policing.
Had it been he was a white boy, would they kill him? Would they tase him?
That is for real. And
Mensah struggled with mental illness and had brushes with the law before, convicted in a robbery in 2015. But whether he was having a mental health episode the night he died is unknown. CBC News has learned police tasered Mensah 6 times.
That may not be indicative of the best way to de-escalate somebody who has mental health issues.
And paramedics were delayed by cruisers blocking the street. CBC News has learned 3 Peel police officers were involved that night, but only one has spoken to the police watchdog. 2 others have so far refused, with his family still without answers. CBC News questioned Peel Regional Police about whether race contributed to Mensah's death. The response, quote, "We expect every one of our officers to conduct themselves in a professional and ethical manner at all times."
I was told that.
But his family wants more.
We want a very tangible reason, not any feeble excuses kind of reasons.
And says they'll fight until they know why Mensah died. Shanifa Nasser, CBC News, Toronto.
An update for you now on 2 fatal shootings in Mississauga from last fall. Today, Peel Police releasing footage of a shooting in September when more than 100 bullets were fired into a crowd of families by an ice cream truck. As Angelina King reports, investigators are now linking that shooting to another deadly one a month later. And a warning, some viewers may find the video upsetting.
The gunfire is constant, lasting 20 seconds as kids and families run for cover. It stops, then starts again. 7 suspects firing 141 rounds, hitting 15 apartments, 9 vehicles, 6 people, 3 who were innocent bystanders. A woman in her 50s and a 13-year-old girl, both shot inside the building, survived. 17-year-old Jonathan Davis did not. He was simply walking home when he was shot.
These brazen acts of violence pose a severe risk to our community.
The group arrived in 2 vehicles. Their target, members of a rival gang who were outside the apartment. The suspects took off in the waiting vehicles. Later that day, police found one of them, a stolen Hyundai Santa Fe, burned in Caledon.
It's painful, but it brought us closer together.
Paulette Clark Demise lives in the apartment and saw Davis die in his mother's arms. She says today is hard for the community.
For 6 months, I would say, I slept with my lights on. There were no kids in the backyard. It was just like a ghost town for a while. But then the community, we started pulling together. In our own different ways, we're coping.
Investigators say the same gang is behind another death the following month, a targeted shooting killing 28-year-old Giovanni Dallahay and injuring 3 others. They were in this vehicle waiting to exit the 410 onto Derry Road.
There definitely is a history between these 2 groups, and that was the catalyst for the both shooting incidents.
Detectives say the same Nissan Sentra was involved in both shootings. It was also found in Caledon, engulfed in flames. 2 men have been arrested in the first shooting, charged with conspiracy to commit murder. One of them is facing a gun charge. Police want help to find the others.
We know these people have talked with others, friends, associates, and we're appealing directly to those people to do the right thing.
A similar message from Davis's family read out by police.
No justice will ease the pain of losing our son. No justice will ease that pain. But we want those who are responsible for this horrible crime to be arrested and face justice, so no other family will have to experience the pain.
Angelina King, CBC News, Toronto.
The 20-year-old woman notoriously known as Chair Girl after she was filmed tossing a chair off a downtown balcony learned her fate in court today.
How do you feel about the sentence?
I think it's fair.
Yeah?
A bit hard to hear what she says, but Marcella Zoya saying her sentence was fair. Here's what she got: 2 years of probation, a $2,000 fine, and 150 hours of community service. The prosecution had been calling for jail time, but the judge found that Zoya was not intentionally trying to hurt anyone. After a quick break, we'll check in with Colette on your weather forecast, plus the students who are singing the praises of their music teacher.
A music teacher at this Mississauga high school is getting $25,000 worth of instruments for her students, thanks to a Hamilton rock band and the coach for the Toronto Raptors. I'll bring you that story in just a little bit.
A Mississauga high school is set to get a major donation after the enthusiasm of a music teacher caught the attention of more than just her school. As Katerina Georgieva reports, she now has fans in a rock band and a popular basketball coach.
On behalf of E1 and the Nick Nurse Foundation, we're going to get you some new instruments to the tune of $25,000.
That means so much just because we're so worried about our programs already. By having more instruments, we'll make sure that we don't have to reduce the number of kids in classes or anything, and that's so wonderful. Thank you.
That's teacher Julia Jung of St. Aloysius Gonzaga Secondary School, surprised by Toronto Raptors coach Nick Nurse with a bit of help from Arkel's frontman Max Kerman.
Oh my goodness, this has given me so much street cred with my kids. Like, now they made me cool.
It all started when Jung got her students to do this instrumental cover of an Arkel song, just one of her efforts to keep them engaged during the pandemic. It caught the band's attention and Nurse's, who has performed with the Arkels before. Jung says the donation was a complete surprise and it'll have a huge impact, especially because it'll mean less sharing of instruments, which was already an issue here at this school even before COVID-19.
Oh my God, I was over the moon, man. With the music programs across the country and across the world, like every dollar counts. You know?
Her students say they're grateful for all Jung has done for them, especially during the pandemic with regular check-ins.
Miss Jung works super hard to help all of us get better and just keep in touch and make us all feel loved. Honestly, she treats us like family.
So much so that Soma Sakaran and Martins were a part of a group of students who performed at Jung's wedding in February.
It felt like just a great way to pay her back for everything that she's done for us these past years, and for all that she's done to help us, not even in music, but just in school and life in general.
Jung says the new instruments will soon be delivered to the school.
We're so excited. We can't wait. I just want to be there and see this grand delivery of gorgeous brand new equipment come.
Jung is thrilled to see the school and students recognized in this way, thankful for the spotlight on a music program she's already so proud of. Katerina Georgieva, CBC News, Mississauga.
A beautiful day today, but rain may put a damper on your plans tomorrow. Let's get to meteorologist Colette Kennedy for more on that. And Colette, I certainly didn't mind today's weather and didn't have any complaints.
Thanks, Chris. Well, pretty pleasant day today. Just a little bit cooler, extra cloud cover out there, and that kind of helped keep the temperature down. I mean, a little bit. We got almost round up to about 27 degrees today. We do have a change coming for Wednesday. Yeah, we may have some light rain showers kind of scattered in the early part of the day, but as we get into the afternoon, it'll become a little more consistent. Could have a few pockets with some heavier downpours because of a few thunderstorms that may move in there. Now, less humidity. We'll have that for a few days, so some drier conditions to the air. I don't mean on Wednesday with the rain, but I just mean some of the humidity. But it's going to be coming back for the weekend. Not only that, we're going to find that the temperatures are going to be rising again as we get especially towards the second half of the weekend. So a little bit of up and down for us. Just kind of hang in there, right? Daytime highs, I say, kind of rounded up. We round up towards 27, but officially still keeping it 26, 25 for Oshawa today, and St. Catharines just 24 again because of some of the cloud cover, that cloud deck that we had kind of holding in there, and that kept a damper on the temperatures a little bit. Now, as we go towards the overnight hours, not too much activity, a little bit of wet conditions for southwestern Ontario, and then in the morning hours, we could have a few little light showers around the Golden Horseshoe, but it's really as we get more towards the midday where, especially towards cottage country, you could get into some heavier downpours into there, could change your plans a little bit, I know, and into the afternoon, even for the GTA, you can see kind of that line sort of hanging in there. The more sunshine that we get in mixing in with the clouds, the more energy that would be provided to fuel some storms. So I'm not really expecting there to be enough to add to some severe weather. I mean, the risk is there, but it's looking pretty slim because of the clouds that will happen there. So as we go towards Thursday, some of those clouds hanging in there, some isolated showers not out of the question. That possibility is there, but really it looks like Wednesday's the wetter day, and then we will begin to dry out. Overnight tonight, then some wet areas, especially later overnight for southwestern Ontario. It is going to keep your temperatures up for those overnight temps, not as cool as it was last night. Tomorrow afternoon, your daytime highs may be close to seasonal, but still that Humidex value, it's actually creeping up even from where it was today, and some spotty thunderstorms for you there. It's also going to be a little milder overnight tonight for us into the GTA. 16 last night. Well, you see tonight those temperatures are a little higher. There we go into tomorrow afternoon with some wet conditions. Don't be surprised by those. Thursday, 26. Could be more cloud than that, but as we go towards Friday, definitely more sunshine. Saturday is looking good, Friday and Saturday, but Chris, that heat, humidity coming back. By Sunday, we may start to feel like we're around 36, 37 with those Humidex values.
Oh my. All right. Thanks, Colette.
The weather is brought to you by Trane, the most reliable heating and cooling brand. We test, so it runs. It's hard to stop a train.
Toronto's Ludi Lighthouse was celebrated today with a 100-year anniversary plaque.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, cut!
The ceremony brought people from the community together to celebrate the milestone. Over the last 100 years, many changes have come to the station, including moving it a few times and restoring the iconic structure. But the sense of community and safety has always been there at that spot. Lifeguards have saved more than 6,000 lives over the last century. And that is our show for tonight. I'll see you back here at 11. Good night.